Our first presenter is an artist, a spoken word artist, poet, and she will share her poem, her spoken artist work with you very briefly. Mr. Safiyyah Abdullah, please come forward. Safiyyah.
Most densely populated area on the face of the earth is Gaza. 52% of the population live under the level of poverty, and that was 3 years ago before an economic embargo. 54% of the population is under the age of 15. There's been an economic embargo, which is an illegal violation of international law for over 3.5 years. Not allowing any food, water, medical supplies, or people in or out. So this poem is dedicated to the people in Gaza. Nelson Mandela said, "Our freedom is incomplete without the freedom of the Palestinians." Freedom. Words have two parts, reflection and action. Freedom. Freedom. You either learn to live free or you will die dumb. And so now I need to write. Working with my right hand, making sure nothing is left unsaid, trying to bring you back to life from the walking dead. And so I write lines to throw lifelines. And so I write lines to throw lifelines to my children, born mentally prematurely, not allowed by the system to develop intellectually, not allowed to develop their mental capabilities because they are only taught to be sheep, led by wolves. So with these words, I will slaughter their desire to follow blindly, teach them to read Braille with their fingertips so they can, because their eyes have been closed by their tears, blinded by their fears. Like bullets, these words will enter their minds, allowing them to hear their story, opening their third eye so they can see all in the world that they can be. And so now, I need to write, working with my right hand, making sure nothing is left unsaid, trying to bring you back to life from the walking dead. And so I write lines to throw lifelines to my brothers and sisters drowning in the Red Sea. A sea red, not from algae, rather colored by their blood, ignored by the world's hypocrisy, because what the media hides is a government based on apartheid. You see, boarding ships in international waters is called piracy, unless, of course, it's done by an Israeli. So now I need to write, working with my right hand, making sure nothing is left unsaid, trying to bring you back to life from the walking dead. And so I write lines to a lifeline, because too much pain do I feel. Too many needs are way too real. How can you look at me and not see my humanity? Does the color of my skin, my clothes, my country deny me the right to thrive? Or even to survive? Life is a right, not a collateral, and you'll take no loan out on this life. I'll neither be collateral for your greed, nor will I be damaged by your deeds. Do you think that you can deny me and my people food, water, electricity, just because the world looks away and has nothing to say? Do you think that you can get away with the crimes you commit day after day after day after year after year until none are left to hear? And so now I need to write, working with my right hand, making sure nothing is left unsaid, trying to bring you back to life from the walking dead. And so I write lines to throw lifelines, because veiled women fill you with fear, but veiled truth is seductive and dear. So I write for my mothers who boil straw for their children's suppers. And I write for my babies whose last breath is phosphorus gas. And I write for the 6-year-old boys sent out to buy bread, return to their mothers, wrapped in the shroud with a bullet in their head. And I refugee camps whose great-great-great-grandfathers' homes were bulldozed. 300-year-old Olive Grove bulldozed. 23-year-old Rachel Corrie bulldozed because they were too close to planned settlements for American Israelis from NYC and Miami, and so now I need to write, working with my right hand, trying to make sure nothing is left unsaid, trying to bring you back to life from The Walking Dead, and so I write lines to throw lifelines, because I am living like I'm bulletproof. Living like I'm bulletproof is the only life I've got, because you've got all your guns aiming their bullets at me, dropping their missiles and bombs on all sides with varying trajectories. But I will guide your bullets with my reality and refuse to bow down to that crown that you think will make you king. Not understanding one thing. This is not a video game. And I am not a toy soldier. You got a knife to my juggler and expect me to juggle between life and death and truth and lies, and therein lies the source of this mess. So try to call it a game of chess, as you try to penetrate my chest, rape my queens, imprison my kings, but this is just checkers, with you trying to jump over me. But you see, white men can't jump. So instead you try to step on top of me, to make it to the other side of the world so you can yell, crown me. But I am that black knight that will continue to write, continue to fight, until the missing piece of puzzle piece is finally in place. And Lady Justice has removed the blindfold off of her face. And no longer is justice denied to just us. I'm that piece on the side of the board you couldn't see, because truth can only be seen with your third eye. And yours was blinded by jealousy. I'll be that piece that jumps over you. Game over. Now we're all free.
Thank you. We are having obviously some sound difficulty, which we're working on. We hope we'll have better sound in about 20 minutes or so. But don't be discouraged, because we are suffering from a shortage of sound. And this rally and protest is a symbol in support of those who are suffering from food and water and drink and education and home and freedom. That puts us in harmony with those who are suffering far greater than us. The other thing you need to know, there are 7 cities here in the United States that are supporting, standing in solidarity with the Palestinians today. There's a rally in Chicago, in Dallas, Texas, in Detroit, Michigan, in Houston, Texas, in St. Louis, Missouri, and Seattle, Washington. So even though our numbers may appear to be small, we are standing with millions. No doubt we're standing with tens of thousands here in the United States to say oppression of the Palestinian people is wrong, it's a crime. We say no.